All right, so as a human, you have needs, and your needs are okay and normal. They don't make you weak. And the thing is there's core needs that we must get met. And so many of us aren't meeting those needs, and then we're going to things like food to meet them. So in this video, I am showing you what those needs are, how you might be going to food to meet them, and what to do instead. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and list these 6 human needs one by one, how you might be needing that thing, and then how you might be meeting it with food. So what I want you to do is I want you to follow along with me. And what you're going to determine out of these 6 needs is the need that you are kind of missing the most, and then take a look at how you can meet that need with something else in your life besides food. So pay attention with me, do some self-inventory. This one's going to take some action and interaction, and then at the end I'll show you how to really implement something that'll really truly support you. So need number 1, and these kind of exist in tandem, right? So these are 2 of the needs. You have a need for certainty and stability, and then on the flip side, you have a need for uncertainty and variety. So in the certainty and stability, this is going to be you if you're type A controller wanting to manage everything and get it done perfectly. And you might notice when your need for certainty and stability is getting kind of messed up and a little off, you might get overwhelmed and stress eat or go to grab food, right? Or maybe you go to dieting. Everything's so out of control, everything's so uncertain, you're craving that certainty, so you go to diet and control. So that's a small example of that one. In fact, we have an entire program where we teach on something like this for a deep portion of a video, right? So we could go a lot deeper, but this is a little snapshot into each of these needs. So that one is certainty and just kind of security, stability, everything under that umbrella. And shout out to Tony Robbins for the 6 human needs. I didn't make all this stuff up completely, but what I've done is see how these needs are met through food. He doesn't necessarily talk about that piece. So okay, on the flip side, we have uncertainty and variety. So I am, as much as I love stability and I crave security, I am an uncertainty and variety junkie. And what's really interesting is what I put aside the most is fun, play, adventure, uncertainty and variety. And so what I notice, since I no longer struggle with my food, when I don't have enough adventure and uncertainty and variety and fun in my life, I'll do some self-sabotaging stuff like procrastinate. I'll get burnt out. I will scroll social media. For you, if you struggle with food, that might show up like, you live the same day in and day out. You feel like you don't have a ton of control. You're craving more, or you feel like you're so controlled that it's rigid, right? And you're craving more uncertainty and variety, more fun, more joy. Well, instead of creating that for yourself, because you might not fully realize it, you might go to food or to binge or overeating because it's exciting. Or maybe you hide your food from others. Or maybe you tell someone you're on the way home, but you go by the drive-thru instead, and then you throw away all the food and all the wrappers, right? So you can see how this is met, this need for uncertainty is actually met in a very unsupportive way. Now, you could schedule something that's different in your calendar. Go schedule some fun and play, right? There's supportive ways to give yourself uncertainty and variety. Okay, next one, love and connection. This is another big one for me. So a easy way to parallel this, and I have so many ways, so it's kind of in my head thinking, right? A lot of us go on our quest to diet or change our bodies because we are seeking love from another. We are seeking approval from another. We have these beliefs of like, if I don't change my body, right, then I am not going to get the love I want. I'm not going to belong in the cool circle. I'm not going to get the job or whatever that is, right? So that sense of belonging, that community, that love, that connection. So many of us have subconscious conditioning about changing our body to get that need met. Or yours might look a little different. Maybe food has been your emotional escape. Maybe you've dealt with trauma. Maybe you've dealt with different things in your life. Maybe you grew up in an unstable home, and hiding with the candy in the closet while mom and dad were fighting felt like the only love and nourishment you could get. And this example could also parallel to some of that certainty and security, right? So you can see how there's some ebb and flow to both of these needs. So think about this one. This is our desire for love and connection is one of our biggest drivers in our lives. It's also a very survival-oriented need because even though it seems fluffy and feel good, we are wired for love, connection, and community. So this is a big one. So really take a look. How is that desire for love, community, approval governed your desires with what your body looks like? Or have you sought out food in the name of connection because you're denying a connection to yourself or you're not getting a connection with others? So this is a deep one. I could go on and on about this one, but I will leave you there and you can really take a look at this. Okay, so the next one is significance and our need for significance. So some people might think that significance is superficial or like we're going after recognition, but it is a human need. And in the past, a lot of things that I've done in my life have been for significance and I haven't realized it, right? So, kind of paralleling with that thing with love that we just talked about, do you have beliefs that your body has to look a certain way to get recognition, to be the healthy one in the group, to get the job or the career or the thing that you want, right? Do you like getting praised for your body? Do you like getting praised for your health, for how you stay on track with things, right? Have you developed this identity that leaves you feeling significant? And this one has a little more gray area, and I say this with caution because in no way do I think that someone that struggles with food or an eating disorder is doing it for attention. So I'm just prefacing that before I say what I'm about to say with that. But one thing I see sometimes is without realizing it, people find significance in their struggle. Their struggle gives them that thing to talk about. Their struggle gives them community. Their struggle gives them the thing, the camaraderie with the other person that's struggling. Their struggle gives them the love and care from their parents that they always desired, or, the worry from their parents who maybe were never worried about them, right? So, in some ways, not all, but in some ways, sometimes our struggle, even though it feels so hard, can give us significance and recognition when we maybe haven't had it. So that one's a little more subconscious, that one's a little deeper, but this can be a real thing and it's worth taking a look at. So those are the more survival-oriented needs. Most of yours will most likely fall in that department. There are the other needs of growth and contribution that are big needs, but the first four are the ones that I really want you to look at. Growth and contribution are so important, right? If you're not growing, if you're stagnant in your life, if you're not able to, give back to others and do things in that way, of course there's gonna be a small part of you inside that doesn't feel fully satisfied and taken care of. And if you're not fully satisfied with your growth trajectory, with the contribution in your life and so forth, you will maybe reach for food, you will self-sabotage, you will spiral. But for the sake of this video and for the sake of time, right, I want you to focus on those first four needs, because if you are, knee deep in the struggle with binge and emotional eating, most likely most of your drivers for that struggle are going to come from that place. And if you're here watching these videos or in our programs, I know you're a growth-oriented person, and I know that you have a heart. If you're still listening, if you're in our world, you have a heart and you want to contribute. And the only thing that's maybe holding you back from contributing at the way you'd love to is because you have these kind of survival needs all over the place and you're consumed with this struggle, right? So look at those four needs. See, is there a top need that you're trying to get this need met with food? And is there another more supportive way to meet this need for yourself? So I would love for you to share your discoveries in the comments below. You might have an easy time with this, someone might have a hard time with it, and your comment will leave them inspired. Or vice versa, you might be stuck. Ask for help in the comments. We promise to support you. And we are releasing more videos like this that let you in on some of the deeper stuff beyond, be like beneath your surface level relationship with food, because, you know, especially if you're a woman, there's so many things connected between how we use and are with food and our emotional world and our belief system. So hopefully this was helpful. Be sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel. We're doing new cool videos like this every Tuesday. And if you need help with this, like, and really desire support with this, I just want you to know you're not alone. And there is in the description a link just below this video where you can click on that, get a free training, and at the end of that training, we talk about an opportunity to set you up with a complimentary call with myself or another eating psychology coach on my team, and we're here for you. You don't have to do this, and you don't have to figure out this stuff on your own. So I will see you in the next video.